So this is AvalonPhilly reporting live again. This is part 2 of the graffiti artist Seattle. We have actually a live artist right here. What's your name, man?
My name's Sam Maxwell.
Sam Maxwell. Look at him. This is his piece right here he did. He actually just did it. If I touch the paint, you can show your fingers real quick so they can see that it's live. He got that green paint all over that joint, so it's pretty wet. It's nice and fresh. That's a nice piece.
It's in the middle. It's not finished yet. I want to throw in a figure over there and
Yeah.
block it in and stuff.
Nice, nice. So how long have you been doing graffiti art?
I've been doing graffiti. I've been interested in it since, probably my early teens, but aerosol art I've only been doing for spray painting for less than a year now.
Nice, nice.
Drawing, and I've always been, trained in classical art aspects. And
Okay.
then, known a lot of people that did graffiti, but a neighbor of mine really got me into the aerosol side of things.
Okay.
And then going back to art school and majoring in visual communications at art school, like graffiti kind of ties.
So what inspired you to start doing graffiti art?
It's really just, I like the primitive aspect of it. The people have been doing it for tens of thousands of years and putting, pigments up, writing their names, like figures. There's also, I like, walking around and seeing people's different hand styles, things like that, I see it as, a calligrapher would see, someone, how he writes his calligraphy.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. So, I think that it's, it's not, there can be vandalism, but it's really, it is art, it's wall art, doing it in the black book and on canvas too as well.
Nice.
People that do that and are able to make a living, but I like, giving art to, away for free too. It's something that costs me, costs me money to put it up on the wall, but,
nice, yeah.
in other places, but, it's like my gift to other people and, my message and, a little
nice.
piece of me,
Cool, cool.
And I also like the aspect that it's not something that's like on a canvas that, is finalized. It's
Yeah.
Out in the elements. It can be worn down, it's going to be taken down, something's going to happen to it, It could stay up there for a long time. You never know,
Definitely.
That aspect, pouring like 4 hours of work into it, then the next day someone takes over it. That aspect of it.
But it's called art, so it's kind of like it's not gonna stay forever, but it could be preserved.
That's definitely an appealing part too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take a look through at this wall real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty tight. Like that's the start of the wall down here. This is pretty tight. This is definitely a lot different from the other one we just saw. This is definitely a little different. You could tell a little more detail into the art, and people respect the artists here. The other ones, they was just kind of disrespecting the artist, so it was kind of like you couldn't really tell what the intake of the scene was supposed to be. But more though, this is really something you can tell they're really into the mind of their artist, and art is what you make of it. It's not what the person tell you it is. It's what you make of it. That's pretty tight. So they X'd it out. So this is definitely a nice one. And these are like the back of a storefront. I think it was probably like a warehouse that probably sold bread or some sort. Not really sure. But this is definitely a long piece. It's a lot more detailed than the other one. You could tell local artists from all over came together and combined something true and nice. So, AvalonPhilly, reporting live, Seattle.